I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 213, Off-Road Challenge. Released in 1998, this game was developed by Avalanche Software and published by Midway. Coming off the peak of Ocarina of Time, we're back to some racing game I've never heard of. But it's published by Midway, so it might be pretty fun. Next to sports games, racing has gotta be the most abundant genre on this console. There's just so many. The name Off-Road Challenge isn't really inspiring me for much. I imagine these races are not going to be on the street, cause, you know, off-road. Street is a synonym for road? Not my best work. Anyway, yeah, I know nothing about this game, so there's not much else to say. Let's get into it. The main single-player mode in this game seems to be the circuit, so that's what we'll be doing to beat this game. It told me I was in the rookie circuit. I need to finish 4th or better in every race to move on. I then had to choose my truck. There was the Toyota Trophy Truck, Class 10 Heavy Metal, Baja Buggy, and the Class 8 Mini Metal. They all had stats in speed, power, handling, and weight. I went with Class 8 Mini since it had pretty high speed, and then jumped straight into the first race at the Mojave track. The Ready, Set, Go font looks like some 90s word art from Microsoft Word. It wasn't off to a good start. Seems when you hit a wall too hard, you spin out like crazy. I was really struggling to catch up to anyone. I hadn't let off the gas since that crash, but they were still way ahead of me. As we drove through some kind of construction zone, I was wondering what was going on. I made my first use of the nitrous here. It gives a big ol' speed boost. The can on the right side kinda looks like an energy drink. But yeah, with this, that's the edge you need to pass people. I went off-road here and lost a ton of speed. Seems super ironic considering the game is called Off-Road Challenge. There's a radar in the bottom left corner. It's kinda crap. I would much prefer a mini-map. It looks just like the one in California Speed. After 2 minutes of driving, the race was over. I finished in 6th place. Dang. The game then told me I'm hot. Oh my. I wasn't expecting that. I'm so embarrassed. You enter your initials here if you're one of the top times. It seems like this is a direct port of an arcade version. It just lets you try the race again with no real penalty, which is nice. I noticed in the next attempt, the commentator said ugly start. That must mean there's some way to get a boosted start? I absolutely hate this in racing games. It's just like a secret handshake that you're expected to know in order to make the game playable. So many games did this back in the day. Looking in the manual, I just had to accelerate as the commentator said the word go. I also swapped to the Baja Buggy because it had the highest speed stat. And yeah, it worked. This time I was able to catch up to people without using any nitro. I was way behind in that first attempt. Another thing to help is there are nitro boosts littered along the tracks. Some are out in plain sight while others are more hidden. Do not crash head on into another car. I mean, that sounds kind of obvious, but it just obliterated my speed. That crash animation was kind of cool though. Okay, 6th place again. The same result, but I felt I was getting more of the hang of things now. What? Even the AI can't handle this turn. It just kind of glitched through the wall too. That was wild. So this changes things. Apparently the CPUs can just steal the nitro pickups before I can get it? That is going to be an issue. There was a very basic secret just taking this ramp. I mean, it's the first track, so it should be kind of obvious. There were 2 nitro pickups there, so I need to find all these secrets to be able to win, I imagine. This time around I got 4th place. Not great, but it was good enough. I mean, they should have given me a stricter requirement if they wanted me to try harder. It said I got $40,000 for my placement. So now we're in the speed shop where this very high quality animation of a Toyota woman is. Apparently here I can upgrade my acceleration, shocks, speed, tires, or give myself more nitros to start. Maybe the game will get easier after I buy more stuff? I upgraded my tires because I had no idea what I should do. Next up was El Paso track. It was just a standard desert for now. There were some treasure chests on the ground, presumably gives me some cash for upgrades. Okay, so this is crazy. There's a ramp right at the train tracks, but like, I even hit the ramp with nitro and I still hit it? That's wild. I guess this is the town of El Paso. I'm greeted by a dead guy hanging from the sign. Family-friendly Nintendo console, by the way. Man, I don't know if it's the frame rate or what, but this part actually kind of hurts my eyes. Leaving the town put me in a graveyard. Okay, now this looks like an off-road challenge. The title is starting to be accurate. Holy crap, I just jumped directly into that plane. What on earth is this game? I feel like I did nothing wrong there, just got screwed. 8th place. That ain't gonna cut it. This is so stupid. The CPU didn't take the ramp, so it made the train go flailing around, which made me hit it too. I'm being sabotaged. God, now I'm ramming into the wagon straight out of the Oregon Trail. You're in the wrong video game. I had been seeing these helmets on the tracks and I picked one up. The game called it an anti-crush helmet, whatever that means. Actually, that seems really useful. This time when the airplane picked the exact second I went off the ramp to go to that specific spot, it didn't affect my speed. Okay, apparently cars can just drive over top of each other. Totally makes sense. Monster Truck Madness should have had that feature. Also, wow, picking up one of the treasure chests on the ground just gave me $40,000. That's gonna be big because I bet I need full upgrades by the end of this to have a chance. Oh shoot, I wasn't getting boosted starts apparently, cause that was definitely one. It seems the timing for it is real strict. I was struggling to even get 4th here. This was like my 8th attempt. I wasn't sure yet if the money I'd been picking up counted or if it only counts if you finish the race and win. It sure wasn't letting me spend it after failing. Finally though, I managed 4th place. Sounds so pathetic. And yeah, I only had $80,000 to spend. The chests definitely weren't staying over after losing. Yeah, oh well. I spent it all to upgrade my acceleration by 1 notch. Next up was the Vegas track. It seems we're starting by going through Area 51 though. There's just a fighter jet taking on a flying saucer. Mine closed, huh? That's definitely a secret path. What? There's really an invisible wall there? How is that not a secret? You've got to be kidding me. Instead, I've got to go through the same mine shaft as everyone else. There's some load-bearing beams that I'm sure comfortable destroying. Also, minecart tracks going across the path, which are quite inconvenient. Turning in this is absolutely wild. You can't slow down super well because you're always bouncing around, so these big turns just don't behave well. At least it seems the CPU can't take them very well either. We finished by actually reaching Vegas. This should have just been called like Death Valley or something. Anyway, I managed 4th place on my first try. Maybe I'm improving at the game. I had $160,000 to spend this time. Kinda rich now. I put 2 more points in acceleration as it seemed to serve me well last race. The next track is Pikes Peak. And okay, like we could argue we've been on dirt roads before, so it's technically off-road in a sense, but this is inexcusable. That's some classic paved asphalt right there. We are clearly on road. Where is the challenge? Also, there's just American flags all over the start. Is this like some military base or something? There was a tunnel that seemingly warped me to a new world because now there's snow everywhere and the roads are icy. Oh my god, it's like impossible to drive here. The turns just create pandemonium. I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything out of the ordinary. The CPU is driving all over the sides of the track too. The turns are just too tight for these trucks to be able to handle properly, I think. I got 5th place, mostly because I crashed near the end. Dang. It's good there doesn't seem to be any issue with losing though. My next go at it was so much better. I got 2nd place, heck yeah. I got $80,000 as a base reward. Put it in my tires to hopefully be able to turn better. The next one is certainly an interesting track, the Old South track. What's that plane flying by doing? Is it dropping chemtrails on us? Wake up, sheeple. Based on this look, I think we might be in Georgia or something like that. Maybe South Carolina? I don't know. Okay, yep, there's just Confederate flags flying around, okay. I think this is supposed to be like a Civil War reenactment area, but still. Also, those things are super weird anyway. In the second part of this swampy forest area or whatever, there were holes on the track throughout. If you hit them, you slow down quite a lot. You don't really get time to react to it, so it's going to take some memorizing. I got 5th place, not good. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. The graphics, they're just not that good. Like I said, I think this is a direct port of an arcade game, so I wonder how much effort was put into optimizing it for the N64. Along with just not looking that nice, the frame rate's a bit rough, or maybe it's the way the game is being drawn as you move. Just something seems off about it. For the music, it was mostly MIDI generic rock music, but this level completely changed the vibe. Some banjo, some fiddle, it's a banger for sure. Okay, 4th place, we take those. D's get degrees or something like that. And the next track is Baja track. Hey, I'll fit right in with my Baja buggy. Did you know this game is actually how Mountain Dew got the idea for the name Baja Blast? It's true, you can look it up. We started in that little town, now there are more farms. Oh no, watch out for that tractor. Dude, I used to live in State College, Pennsylvania, and it wasn't uncommon to see some guy driving a tractor on the main road where the speed limit was like 45 miles per hour. They'd be going maybe 10, and it was so annoying. Nice little town, but as soon as you leave in any direction, just farms everywhere. Now we're on the beach. This level's all over the place. Love how all the sandcastles sitting around are completely flat, like a 2D image. Also weird just how many of them there are here. It ends with us driving out on a pier and knocking over like 10 fruit stands. I feel like this isn't the best place to set up a business, but to be fair, I don't have experience. I managed to get 4th place first try, easy peasy. And after that race, it informed me I'd made it to the novice circuit. Now I had to place 3rd or better on each race to progress. Uh-oh, this is going to end with 1st place being required, isn't it? Okay, never mind that I hit an invisible wall up there forcing me to crash, but what's up with this thing just not having a texture? And what's up with this auto reverse? You don't have the ability to drive backward in this game, so I guess if it detects you being stuck, it just forces you to do it. It was already getting problematic only having to reach 3rd place. I just couldn't catch this guy, no matter how well I drove. It seems the only way to feasibly pass people is with nitro. I probably also should be farming gold more to level up my truck. One thing to give me an upper hand was the fully boosted start, and move out of the way of the guy directly in front of me. In fact, why do I always have to start in 8th? On the first race, sure, whatever. But if I like finished in 4th or something, I should start in 4th on the next one. It just makes sense. It took like 4 tries, but I got the 3rd place finish. The good thing is I get more money for finishing higher, so upgrades come faster. I wanted to save up to raise my max speed because it was starting to seem required. It's wild how tough this already was. Oh god, this is chaos. No! Come on. 3rd. God! There was one thing that could give me some hope because I was losing like crazy. The Super Nitro. On every track there is one spawn of Super Nitro. Not only does the boost from it last for longer, but it's more powerful too. It's supposed to be quite hidden, but well, that one is just chilling in the middle of the town. To be fair, it took like 10 tries on that track for me to notice it. With that find, I not only got 3rd, but 2nd place on the El Paso track. Yeah, we're just repeating the same tracks, a bit lame. Finally, a max speed upgrade. It better be worth it, cause it costs a fortune. Before, I was floating around 190 kilometers per hour. Now, a bit over 200. So yeah, I'd say it was worth it. Actually, this is proof it was a good choice. I am slowly catching up to these two. And in fact, it was enough to sneak into 2nd place at the end. We are for sure putting more points in speed. Absolutely crushed 2nd place on Pikes Peak on my first attempt. It seems my max speed was around 215 kilometers per hour now. Okay, the computer stealing the boosts is one thing, but them stealing the money pickups is going too far. They can't even utilize it. Oh no, the CPU is learning. They're taking me out now because they know they can't win. Also, I happened to pause my video at a great time to notice that you can see the face of whoever this is driving. It's kinda creepy looking. After getting 3rd on the Old South track, I figured I may as well buy some points in shocks. It might help me with like bouncing around, which tends to happen a lot in this game. Love how I literally have the fast time ever recorded on this track according to the leaderboard, yet I only got 4th place. Alright, after finishing the 6 tracks we did before, it did give me a new one for this circuit, flagstaff track. Appropriately, there are flags lined all along the start. I bought a nitro upgrade, so I spawned in with 3, gonna help a lot. This track just is like any normal desert track to start. Of course, the jank has to show up at some point, right? That tunnel did not like me jumping to that spot. Easiest 2nd place finish of my life. Also, love how the guy's just spinning around on top of my car. My character would get crushed there for sure. Uh-oh. This is where I learned the nitro purchases aren't permanent upgrades. It went back down to 2. Well, that felt like a waste of $60,000. Much rather buy things that last till the end of the game. It told me I'd beaten a hidden track and could now race it whenever I want by holding Z and pressing D-pad left plus L. And yep, here's the pro circuit. I have to finish in at least second place now. It's gonna start getting real soon. Wait, I only got fourth? Not even third? I think they're getting faster with each new circuit too. Not good. Ah, there we go. That's better. I was getting through this circuit without too much trouble. I was probably going to need to find the Super Nitro location on all the tracks when it wants me to get first because I still hadn't done it once yet. Also, yes, that was a wild jump. Holy crap, it's my first time being in first place. I've never had such an honor. And it's gone. It was fun while it lasted. At least I got my biggest haul of cash by far, $280,000. Nearly maxed out my speed stat now. Part of me was wondering if I should go back and farm treasure chests in the easier circuit, plus not buy those nitros, but I stuck with it for now because I didn't want to restart the game. Stuff like this is so frustrating. If they didn't take either one of those nitros, I would have had my first place finish. Oh well. I didn't even do anything special here, but holy crap, first place. Look at the trophy girl. I actually find it extremely funny that there's a toggle in the options to turn the trophy girls off. I guess the devs thought it needed to be hidden from children or something. Wait, what the heck? Why is my speed stat down 2 notches? I don't think I even noticed this while I was playing. I got absolutely scammed. This was absolute nonsense. The yellow truck is clearly spinning out and has no chance to catch me, considering I'm passing it at full speed. But never mind, I forgot about the power of rubber banding. Went from 0 to 60 in a nanosecond. Another first place? Heck yeah. It's not even a different trophy girl, just the same one. Another new track for this circuit, the El Cajon track. It's not all that interesting, in the desert most of the time, and it keeps having you go under these rock archways. It does that like 5 times. At least you get to this part with really big jumps. Those are always fun. Really though, this is just not a very interesting track. Kind of unfortunate considering it's a secret one. There we go, took about 7 tries, but I got first place. Yeah, look, my speed went down another notch. Now past me even noticed it. That's why this game's so hard, it keeps decreasing my stats for some reason. I'd now qualified for the Master Circuit. This is it, the biggest challenge of all. I have to get first place in every single race. With it giving me a new track each time, that should add up to 9 races in total. One thing that was pretty much required was getting that boosted start. It was such a tight window. I actually wonder if it's frame perfect? There's no restart race button or anything like that, but you can go to the main menu and click resume circuit to go back to the race you were on. It's just a very inconvenient way of doing it, but with this, I could keep resetting until I just got the boost. Another issue with some of these tracks was I was just straight up not finding the Super Nitro sometimes. It felt like the manual lied to me, saying there was one on every track. I don't think I ever found it on this Mojave track. Finally, after like 10 tries, I barely squeaked through first. And hey, it's a different trophy girl. Actually, maybe they should have had an option to toggle them off. Dude, look, my stats went down so much. I wonder if they did this in the arcade version to try to make you pay more quarters, and they just never turned it off in the N64 port. My first attempt at El Paso track was going amazing. That is, until this garbage happened. I thought for sure I was going to win there. The train sure isn't helping out either. Aw man, please don't make this game get super difficult now. Another problem I was having is the Super Nitro seems to not spawn sometimes, or maybe it switches locations? It was on the left here behind the wagon. It had always been on the right before. I don't know man, with that and the stats decreasing thing, the game just felt so jank. This attempt, a regular Nitro spawned in its place. I just don't understand. Of course, can't forget about the airplane that seems to only get in the way when I'm on a good run. Ultimately, I felt it was too hard to win like this and decided to restart the entire stupid game over 3 hours in. I learned if you press the C buttons on the truck select screen, it adds much better ones. The Thunderbolt is absolutely stacked. Now I could just farm money and not spend any on temporary nitros, as well as not get my stats too high so they don't degrade. Save all the cash for the Master Circuit. One thing different with this truck over the Baja Buggy is I can now run other trucks over. Since the Baja Buggy was so small, I'd never win the collisions. Now, it happened often. It turns out once you go past 5 points in any stat, it has a chance to degrade. Except for Nitro, those degrade back to 2 no matter what. I wasn't back at requiring first yet, so this finish was wild. The CPU just like hit the corner of the goal and turned itself around? It playing the hokey pokey over there? Hey, you know what? I'll take it. Okay, only took about an hour and a half to get back to the master circuit. I had 1.2 million bucks to my name, so hopefully that's enough to keep my speed and acceleration maxed out as it degrades. Dude, I still can't catch up to these guys, even with max stats. It makes no sense. I swear, I didn't win here, but the game sure says I did. I'll take it. 1 out of 9 down. Dude, I'm using a super nitro and 2 regular nitros, not to mention max stats. Why can't I catch these guys? This game has some weird rubber banding going on. It just makes no sense. Finally, took so many resets, but I beat El Paso track. Hopefully that's the hardest one. This game is so rigged. Thankfully, Vegas track wasn't bad at all. Only took 2 tries to get the win, 3 out of 9 down. Dude, come on, my stats are so low already. My money income can't keep up. The way they did this is so frustrating. Okay, nice, nice. Pikes Peak was a first try win. That's what I'm talking about. Old South track was giving me some real trouble. These bumpy sections were so annoying. It seemed to be best to just drive over the grassy center to avoid the risk of hitting the holes in the dirt. Unfortunately, it felt impossible to beat this track, so I started the game all over again once more. You can't adjust your stats once you've started a race, and I was trying to save money for the next race. That was a big mistake, apparently. Actually, never mind. That was a massive waste of an hour of my life. I eventually gave up on that third run and just went back to the other run. I beat it first try. 5 out of 9 down. Baja track only took 3 tries to get through. The water on the beach was a big issue before, but I had a really good run this time. Did he just pass me on the literal last frame? I shouldn't be surprised anymore, honestly. I was now buying nitros because my stats were degrading anyway. May as well buy the truly temporary items. There we go, that's Flagstaff track. Only 2 more. And there's the El Cajon track. Only took like 3 tries. Okay, here's the final track of the game, Guadalupe track. I bought 6 additional nitros for this. There's no way I can't win with that, right? Again, this one was just a standard desert looking track. It's like these 3 secret tracks were just rearranged clones of each other. Kinda disappointing. Despite my abysmal driving, the 8 nitros I started with was more than enough to carry me to a first try victory. Finally, the master circuit had been beaten. It shows your truck on some giant rock pillar, no idea how it got there. And the camera's like aggressively spinning. I got congratulated for mastering the circuit, and then the credits roll. No cheat codes or anything like that, so I guess that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating Off-Road Challenge. This one is just kinda decent. I imagine it's way more fun in the arcade version. It's just a super arcadey racer, absolutely not realistic whatsoever. It's almost like there's almost too little restriction in how you drive. You can be as chaotic as you want and you still do well. I personally just wasn't a fan of the way the upgrade system was handled. I wish the game explained it better. It seems the best strat would be to just not upgrade past 5, then only buy nitros for the rest of the game. It's one of those games that's more fun to just play than it is to actually beat. Can't exactly say the graphics hit very hard either. Not a strong point. The music was just okay, not great either. Overall, the game's okay. Probably could get a couple hours of enjoyment out of it nowadays. Not anything you need to play over many other racing titles though. I gave Off-Road Challenge a 5 out of 10 for enjoyability and an 8.5 out of 10 for difficulty. It was just so hard to figure out how to spend my money to let me win. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. Alright, we'll do a random track, Convergence. So everybody's here, like NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC. Or maybe Dokkan Road 2. Or ST Hiryu no Ken Densetsu. Could be any of them. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, they are off here in the cornfield. I actually don't know what plant that is, but I like to think it's corn, because corn's awesome. We got Mario no Photopy on one side, Bass Masters 2000 right behind Miaham Soccer as well. And it's Bassmasters 2000, currently in the lead by quite a bit. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing not far behind Battlezone. What is Battlezone? What is Battlezone Rise of the Black Dogs? I've literally never seen that. But it's Bassmasters 2000, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing right behind. Bassmasters getting held up a little bit on this ascension here. Going to cost it some time. And that gives Hot Wheels Turbo Racing capitalizes with Majora's Mask in second place. Rampage right behind, as well as Madden 2001. We got Hot Wheels Turbo Racing in the lead, taking a little bump there. And The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask surging forward, coming through the Cracker Barrel pegs, gets through them flawlessly. Majora's Mask, oh, and it takes a dive off the cliff. Majora's Mask is done for. And Chokokan Knight, Pro Yaku King, International Track and Field 2000, Space Invaders, Shogi 3 as well, NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC, Bassmasters 2000 making a comeback. And Bassmasters 2000 with Rampage right behind. Rampage with the next Turok game as well, but it's the next Mortal Kombat game. Oh, and Mario Golf out of nowhere. Whoa. I didn't even see it happen, but Mario Golf, it came out of nowhere. It must have gotten launched like this directly into the goal. And we are playing Mario Golf next. It must have gotten launched right here. See how these things can launch them up? I thought for sure we were playing Mortal Kombat, but didn't happen. Alrighty, Mario Golf. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.